There is more than one way to tell your story. So let's talk about definitions and different types of writing and storytelling to fit your purposes and your needs. The first one is a diary or morning pages. Anybody keep a journal or a diary? Do you call it a journal or a diary? Journal. Journal? Journal, diary? Journal. Journal. So I'm curious, when you all say that you journal, you call it a journal as opposed to a diary. Do you journal with the idea that someday someone else might read it? All for yourself? Yeah, nice. Do you think someone else ever might read your journal, or is it, yeah?
I worry about that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to think I am the most sad sack, depressed person, because that's just where I vent.
Yes. So in my mind, these are informal, my own definitions. In my mind, a diary or morning pages are more for your own purposes, with the idea that no one will ever read them. I give myself 100% permission to burn them, to never share, to never think that someone else will ever listen or read. Because there's part of the writing process for me that's just figuring out what I think, and there's a whole lot of whining and venting involved in diary writing. And I kind of don't necessarily want the world to see the muck. Plus it's boring, it's tedious, and my thought patterns probably repeat year after year. There's a lot that no one's ever going to want to have to get through that. In my mind, a subtle difference between a diary, and I'll give a definition for morning pages in a moment, but a difference between a diary and a journal is that a journal, you have the idea that someone might read it. A journal is more of a historic record of your life that's an official version. It's as you live it, but you kind of have this thought in the back of your mind that someone else might see this. So there's some self-editing going on as you're writing a journal. And I would encourage you to, at times, give yourself permission to write in a way that's not for anybody else but you. And then do what you will with it. Burn it if you want. Morning pages are an interesting idea introduced to me by other creatives. And it's the idea that you get up every morning and you spend a few minutes just downloading everything, and then you delete it. I actually don't delete mine, but I can't bring myself to delete it, I admit. I don't delete mine. But there are those who say that the deleting of morning pages makes it more authentic and true. Take that for what you want. Give yourself permission either way. Keep it or don't. I don't care. It's your life. But morning pages, the idea is that you're just processing all the thoughts and inspiration. It's just free writing. It's just getting it down. And then once that's been downloaded, you can get on with your day and see what comes. But that's not the official writing you do for the day. I actually do my morning pages in audio format because I write for a living. So I spend a lot of my time in the chair in front of the computer. And it's that adage that the cobbler's kids don't have shoes. Well, I don't always write my own story because I'm being paid to write it for other people. So I do my own morning pages on the fly, and I do it through audio. So I have a recording app on my phone, and I have a headset, and when I'm driving, I speak my morning pages and I process my thoughts that way. I do keep them. And if I want to, I may run through Dragon, so I get a rough transcript. So my process for that is I train Dragon to my voice recognition. I run the files through Dragon, and then I just copy and paste by date. And the purpose of that is if I have an entire year in one file, I can search for keywords. So if I want to find what I was thinking about a particular topic, I can search. So Dragon gives you a giant block of unedited text. It's not very useful for anyone else, but it's very useful if I want to just find the rough idea of what I had to say and where it is. Because I can't imagine going back and trying to listen through an entire year's worth of ramblings in the car. So there's my personal process for morning pages. Sometimes I do officially journal and I save those files, but when I sit down and really write a journal entry, it's something that's pretty important to me, and I want it to be the record to be captured.